Welcome to Inspire Garden and Nature, where we believe that every outdoor space, no matter how small or expansive, holds the potential to become a living sanctuary, a peaceful haven, and a reflection of your personal connection to the natural world. Today, we invite you to journey with us into the heart of garden design and outdoor transformation, where inspiration grows as freely as the plants themselves. In a world that often moves too fast, the garden becomes a space to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to reconnect with the earth, with beauty, and with ourselves. It starts with intention. Maybe it's the desire to turn a neglected corner into a cozy retreat, to fill a barren patio with vibrant life, or simply to wake up every morning to the scent of jasmine drifting through the air. Whatever your vision, the process begins with imagination and a love for the natural elements that surround us. We'll explore how the right combination of greenery, textures, and seasonal changes can shape not just the way a space looks, but how it feels, inviting calm, sparking joy, and encouraging mindfulness. A well-crafted garden isn't only about aesthetics. It's about creating a dialogue between the wild and the intentional, between nature's rhythms and human creativity. Think of soft grass underfoot, the gentle rustle of bamboo leaves, the soothing sound of water trickling from a small fountain, or the warm glow of lanterns casting golden shadows across a gravel path. These are more than design choices, they are sensory moments that anchor us in the present. Throughout this video, we'll explore how to layer these moments into your garden design, from selecting the right plants and materials to crafting zones of purpose and personality. Perhaps you'll be drawn to creating a lush, tropical escape with oversized leaves and dense foliage, or maybe you'll fall in love with the elegance of a minimalist Zen space where every stone and every branch holds quiet significance. Whatever your aesthetic, our aim is to help you shape a space that speaks to your soul. As we continue this journey through garden inspiration, take a moment to imagine the experience of moving through your dream garden, not just what you see, but what you hear, touch, and feel. Picture a soft breeze stirring the leaves of a flowering tree overhead, casting dappled shadows on the ground below. Imagine the satisfying crunch of gravel underfoot, the gentle splash of a nearby water feature, and the scent of lavender or rosemary floating through the air. These layers of sensory detail are what bring a space to life. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. About creating a space that invites you in and makes you want to stay. Maybe there's a cozy bench nestled under an arch of blooming bougainvillea or a winding path that leads to a hidden nook with a single chair and a stack of books. These intimate corners, often overlooked, can become the heart of your garden experience. And don't be afraid to think vertically. In smaller spaces especially, vertical gardening offers a beautiful and practical way to bring life to bare walls, fences, and even balconies. With the right arrangement of planters or climbing vines, you can turn any vertical surface into a living tapestry. Creepers like jasmine, honeysuckle, or starry mandevilla not only add beauty, but also release their fragrances into the air as the sun warms them. Vertical gardens can also be edible, filled with herbs like mint, thyme, and basil, ready to be snipped and added to a cup of tea or a homemade dish. It's these little everyday interactions with your plants that truly connect you to the space, touching the soft leaves, harvesting your own food, noticing the subtle growth from one week to the next. Lighting, too, plays a powerful role. The garden transforms as the sun moves across the sky. Soft morning light highlights dew on petals, while the golden hour adds a magical glow to every surface. But when the sun sets, that's when lighting becomes your tool for shaping mood. String lights can bring warmth and charm, while solar lanterns tucked between bushes or hanging from branches cast flickering shadows that dance gently in the breeze. Even a single candle on an outdoor table can create intimacy and calm. As you explore your design, think about how the space will feel at different times of day and how lighting can guide, invite, and highlight the beauty you've created. Consider also the importance of texture, not just in plants, but in hardscaping materials and decor. A garden made up entirely of similar shapes and finishes can feel flat, but when you introduce contrast, rough bark against smooth stone, glossy leaves beside velvety petals, or cold metal next to warm wood, you add depth and interest. Texture can tell a story. The weathered patina of a clay pot speaks of age and character, while freshly oiled timber suggests warmth and craftsmanship. Use this to your advantage when choosing your planters, furniture, and garden accessories. Even textiles like outdoor cushions or throws can soften a space and invite you to linger just a little longer. Incorporating wildlife into your garden is another deeply rewarding aspect of design. A well-planned garden can become a sanctuary not just for people, but for birds, butterflies, and pollinators. Choose nectar-rich flowers like zinnias, echinacea, or cosmos to attract bees and butterflies. Provide shallow water dishes or small bird baths for feathered visitors. You'll find that the presence of these creatures brings joy and movement to your space, and a sense of being part of a larger ecosystem. Watching a butterfly flutter from bloom to bloom or hearing birdsong in the early morning adds another layer of peace that no decor item can match. Your garden becomes more than beautiful, it becomes alive. As seasons change, so should your garden. Plan with intention so that different plants bloom at different times of year. This way, there's always something new to see: cherry blossoms in spring, sunflowers in summer, ornamental grasses in autumn, or evergreen shrubs that hold their form in winter. This constant transformation keeps your space feeling fresh and reminds us of the cycles of nature, encouraging patience and presence. Gardening teaches us to wait, to observe, and to appreciate subtle changes. A bud appearing where there was none yesterday, a new color emerging as temperatures shift. It's a lesson in mindfulness, growth, and renewal. Don't forget to bring your own personality into the garden. After all, this is your space. Maybe that means hanging hand-painted tiles, setting up a hammock, displaying antique tools as art, or creating a small altar with stones and crystals. Let it reflect your values, your heritage, your dreams. For some, it might be a minimalist layout with raked gravel and sculptural plants. For others, it could be a riot of colors and scents, a living celebration of abundance. There is no single right way, only what feels right to you. And for those who may not have a large yard, know that even a small balcony, a rooftop, or a windowsill can become a garden. With the right containers, creativity, and care, you can cultivate a little piece of paradise in even the most limited space. Urban gardening, balcony jungles, container herb gardens. All of these are ways to express your connection to the earth.